Well, the Kamala Harris campaign must be in trouble because Barack Obama was just caught on camera shaming young black men for not supporting her. It's also worth noting that Barack Obama's slogan was change. Kamala has told us she's just going to continue the last 4 years. That is not change. Hillary Clinton won the popular vote in 2016. Clearly, millions of Americans were fine having a woman president. Maybe they just don't like Kamala Harris. I am personally offended by the notion that people should vote based on gender or skin color. Shaming young men for not voting for Kamala Harris is A, very desperate, and B, not what this country is about. You earn votes. What is the point of fighting for equal rights if you're then gonna tell us to vote on skin color and gender? I like to judge everybody based on merit, based on the work that they do, and Kamala Harris, we can look at her track record, it's not good.
What a freaking fall from grace, guys. This guy, Barack Hussein Obama, has lost his mind because he's coming out here and trying to shame black men into voting for Kamala Harris because she's black, which is not even true. Shout out to my video, many others, Judge Mathis, Candace Owens. We've all exposed Kamala Harris for not even being what she's pretending to be, and she refuses to even talk about it because she already knows that she can't hold up to scrutiny, and they've successfully bullied the Trump campaign out of the position of questioning it and going into detail about it. But it's all good because you got people like me and Candace Owens and Judge Mathis out there who are going to expose her for not being what she claims to be anyway, in terms of being black. But in regard to the policies, Barack Obama doesn't seem to care about the fact that we got extremely high inflation and prices that have been a result of that. People can't afford housing. People can't afford groceries. No. He wants people to vote for Kamala Harris because she's black, and we're not voting for her because she's a woman. We're misogynistic, even though Hillary Clinton didn't seem to have this problem. But anyway, this is what Obama had to say. Take a look.
Communities is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences. Who's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land. Part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you?
You gotta slap yourself for asking that question.
I hate it. And I mean that word with full authenticity. I freaking hate it when you got somebody who has the audacity and the gall to come out here and ignore every reason that we give. He's saying we're coming up with excuses. So we can't really afford gas and we can't afford to get a house, but that's just an excuse. We need to support Kamala. We can't afford our electric bill and barely can afford Christmas coming up, barely afford Christmas gifts for ourselves. We need to go ahead and vote Kamala in, and then on Christmas time, we're not really gonna be able to buy anything for our family, but you know, hey, at least we get that black woman in there, the woman who's pretending to be black. This is what Obama's saying. This freaking dummy is disrespecting the hell out of black men like our reasons are invalid. You know that there's all these problems. There's open borders, inflation, high prices, Afghanistan withdrawal, wars everywhere, but those are just excuses? You gotta be shitting me. This guy need to be slapped in the face. Slap yourself, Obama, because you're an idiot.
Slap yourself.
Scott Jennings of CNN called you out for your stupidity because this message is not gonna go well. You about to be viral as hell, and not for the reason that you think you're gonna be viral for.
I mean, this is a political party that thinks gender is just a state of mind, and all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, we have trouble with moderate biological males. I mean, who is surprised about this? Yeah, I think Democratic Party elites like Obama and like others have been viciously attacking Donald Trump since 2016. And everything they've said about him is what they have always said about him. And I don't think it's particularly effective right now. I think their problem isn't attacking Trump. Their problem is finding reasons to give people to support Kamala Harris. This stop he made in this plea he's making to African-American men. I mean, he said today he insulted them. I mean, he, first of all, admits that they're not enthusiastic about her. He said, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president, and you're coming up with other alternatives and reasons for that. And I think one thing we've seen about Democrats over the years is that when they can't convince you to do something, they begin to insult you. Obama specifically, when he was having trouble with rural voters in Pennsylvania, go back all the way into his campaigns, he insulted them about their culture and values. I don't think it's helpful to insult a group of people who are already not enthusiastic about your campaign, but I think that's what he did today. The story tonight is they're struggling with men, Obama's insulting men, and they're out saying, well, let's fix it by sending Tim Walz out and hiring Mitt Romney. It's crazy to me.
I'm sorry, this is not a campaign strategy to name Mitt Romney the Secretary of State.
Are you agreeing?
I don't
This is a suggestion in a report.
Exactly. I don't think we should force any candidate to name who their cabinet is prior to even winning. I think they should be out there talking to voters.
I totally agree with that.
See?
Wow.
Complete agreement with that.
Scott Jennings, Ashley Allison agreeing.
Obama managed to do one thing that he promised he would do a long time ago. As you can see here, he managed to unite the parties because Scott Jennings uniting with this woke behind, wokey woke, bug-eyed black chick. He managed to actually get these two to agree on something, which I don't think I've ever seen before. So congratulations, Obama. You did something right. Finally, you did something right. Even the panelists on Abby Phillip, for some reason, they gave freaking dead-faced, extremely boring Abby Phillip, no personality Abby. They gave her lead because it seems like she leads this panel on CNN like every freaking couple days, or I don't know how often this goes on, but she leads this panel, and they even was going off on that panel. Even Abby was like, I don't know if this is a good message, right? So I'm going to go ahead and react to that with you guys. Let's get into it.
Barack Obama is back on the campaign trail and he's making the case against Donald Trump. But before his guest feature in Pennsylvania, Obama made a surprise visit to Kamala Harris's campaign headquarters in Pittsburgh. It was there that he got candid, maybe a little too candid if you are in the vice president's inner circle tonight. He warned that Harris is underperforming him with black voters, and he had a message specifically for black men.
Part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for them. So now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you?
What you mean, like how Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black?
I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Or how about how Kamala Harris says she's not going to do something specifically for black people?
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
Or forget about the Central Park Five for a second. How about the fact that she got a black man locked up who was an innocent black man and refused to let him out of prison till years later? You guys remember that?
In 2008, I was framed for murder and wrongfully convicted by the office of Kamala Harris, sentenced 50 to life in prison. It took me 5.5 years to ultimately get back in the trial due to prosecutorial misconduct. And it took me another year to go to my second trial, to which I was vindicated by a jury of my peers. When I got convicted, Kamala Harris was in the courtroom. when I got sentenced 50 to life in prison, Kamala Harris was in the courtroom. When I looked back and I seen her, she was smiling. And she did that stupid ass laugh that she do right now. This shit ain't funny.
That's not acceptable.
CNN political commentator Errol Lewis is in our fifth seat for this conversation. Errol, I guess he knew the cameras were there. It was an unscheduled stop, but that message was so pointed. In addition to him making it very clear, Kamala Harris is not doing what she needs to do with this core Democratic constituency. We went back, looked at 2020 exit polls. Biden got 92% of the black vote. Right now, according to Quinnipiac, this is in Pennsylvania, according to Quinnipiac, Harris is at 78. It's a big gap in this state right now. And that can be closed because Biden is not Barack Obama.
Biden is not, well, he was Obama's running mate. I'm not sure that's the right message. I mean, they have to try something.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's not the right message. He's going to get destroyed for this. This is going to be in commercials. Trump might put this in his own commercials to prove that they want black men to be puppets. And if you think that it's a serious issue that you can't afford to pay your damn bills to support your family, that he just thinks you're making excuses for it. Like all this stuff with FEMA, giving the money to illegal minds. Like, boy, you better get your stupid dumb ass out of my face.
I mean, this is not a nice message. This is a very stern message.
Let me ask you a question, Abby and Nina. Let me say, I find it very interesting that we're trying to reach out to white men. We're trying to reach out to black men. The people whose rights are really on the ballot right now are women. And
like, see, I'm going to just go ahead and skip over this dummy because this is all idiots like this person care about. This is why you don't have any of the men, because you have men who are not supporting you. And instead of trying to figure out, well, what do the men care about? You're just trying to say, well, here's what women care about, so care about what we want to care about. No. How about you care about what the men want to care about if you want the male vote? If you want the female vote, focus on that. But if you want the male vote, you need to focus on what men care about, not what women care about. Like, we just need to just care about everything that women care about. And it's not even all women. Like, all women agree 100% of the time. If all women agreed, the election would be over.
I don't know. It's because men are the problem right now for Kamala Harris. I mean, women. And by the way, Governor Walz, according to Politico, is going to be going out on a men tour, literally a tour of media to appeal to men.
Guys, Tim Walz. Okay, Tim Walz is the one to make sure this fool is on the screen. Tim Walz is the one who's going to be going out on a men tour. Okay, the face of masculinity. Like, this is what a true, real man looks like. This dude, Mr. Spirit Hands, the crazy hands guy. Like, this dude, something's wrong with this dude. He's got some freaking issues.
There's something weird with that guy. He's a weird guy. But he is a weird guy. He walks on the stage. There's something wrong with that guy.
He ain't all the way right upstairs, okay? Even his own family said that he was a weirdo, okay? Like, and people didn't used to like him. And I don't know how the hell he got into politics. Maybe he just really wanted to find some people that liked him, and he found a way by catering to all these LGBTQIA+++ minus whatever. But in terms of the overall American people, this dude is out of his league.
Appeal to the needs of the voters. And so when I was a delegate for President Obama in both of his elections in Ohio, right now the vice president is down 11 points in Ohio, even though I fully expect President Trump to take Ohio as he did twice, but to be down 11 points compared to President Biden, that is a problem. But this other issue I want to bring up is a problem too. Why are black men being lectured to? Why are black men being belittled in ways that no other voting group? Now, a lot of love for former President Obama, but for him to single out black men is wrong. And some of the black men that I have talked to have their reasons why they want to vote a different way. And even if some of us may not like that, we have to respect it. So unless President Barack Obama...
The reason why you're not getting a black support is because you don't give a damn what we're talking about. They want to just women us to death about this abortion shit, but they don't want to give a damn about anything else that we care about, like money and being able to live well and not be replaced by illegal migrants. That's what we care about. And it seems like these radical leftists don't care about that at all. So you're not getting the vote. It's that simple.
Is going to go out and lecture every other group of men from other identity groups. My message for Democrats is don't bring it here to black men who, by and large, don't vote much differently from black women. And why? As a politician, we should be trying to get all voters to vote. And hopefully there are a few good men out there who do care about the stripping away of some of women's bodily autonomy. But this is wrong for President Obama. It is a wrong course for the Harris-Walz campaign to lay at the feet of black men when they have their reasons. In 2020, the vice president was labeled a cop, as we know.
But do you think, sorry to interrupt you, Nina, but do you think he's right? That one of the reasons is because they don't like the idea of a woman.
It might be some. Listen, black men are socialized in the same society as any other man. So yes, is misogyny may be a part of it, but again, is President Obama and is the Harris-Walz campaign going to lecture other male groups in the same way that they're lecturing?
This is not just about.
I don't think so.
This is about to be a serious ass blacklash. Okay, like this is not good. Okay, there's already tons of people coming out. You even got woke behind Nina Turner, okay, snapping on y'all ass, okay, like she's even saying this is definitely a Democrat, okay, it said it right there on the screen, okay, for those who are not familiar with this lady, and even she's saying this is probably not a good message, this is the wrong thing. Historically speaking, this is how they get anybody to do anything. It's like try to instill fear, use shame and guilt and things like that. And historically speaking, that is very effective on more women than it is on men. Men tend to be more resistant to manipulation than women. Guilt and things like that are manipulative. That's what the Democrats thrive on, is this race shaming, this race guilt, and, you know, trying to guilt you like, oh, she's a woman, so she's just this poor woman. Like, if she's such a great woman, then she should be able to use her strength and skills and abilities. And this economy and world should be in such harmony right now to where it would be stupid not to vote for her. But it's not. There's wars all over the place. Tons of people dying, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people dying between Russia, Ukraine, Gaza, Israel, and all over the rest of the world. There's other wars and stuff going on too that are lesser known conflicts. People dying all over the place. People dying in America, being killed by illegal aliens. Lake and Riley, a bunch of people in the hood, they're trying to say crime is down. A bunch of people in the hood, black and Hispanics, primarily the ones in the hood, dying all over the place. And they trying to say crime is down. These people do not care. Obama does not care. The guy who swore he cared about minorities and criminal justice reform failed to pass criminal justice reform, even having 8 damn years in office. No criminal justice reform. You know who did pass criminal justice reform? Donald Trump. First Step Act. These people are stupid. They actually have no intent on doing anything that supports America, and certainly not doing anything that supports the black community, much less black men. That's why you're gonna lose. That's why this is gonna be a landslide. This message is not gonna hit with all of this shaming. There's gonna be people talking more about it, but there's gonna be even more resistance. I'm telling you right now, she's gonna go down in the polls because of what Obama said. I'm telling you right now, like, come back and check this video. I'm gonna take a clip or something so you can know for sure, because this was a horrible move and they're gonna suffer tremendously for it. Like, they already weren't doing good. Trying to come out here and shame people some more, not use facts, logic, and reason that makes sense, because obviously they can't do that because there's no logic and reason that makes sense for them right now. So instead they're trying, I guess what they feel like is the only thing they can is shame and guilt. It's not gonna work, guys. Take your L in 2024. Maybe come back in 2028 and maybe you could start over again and pick a real candidate, not this fake behind, put in place puppet Kamala Harris, who never stood a chance to begin with. She didn't have no damn primary. She should not have been here. You guys shouldn't have put Joe Biden here the second time. He may have earned the votes, but you should have ran other people and had a fair primary and had people go against him, and he probably would have lost. But no, you tried to prop him up, didn't hold no real primary to begin with. Then you just placed in Kamala Harris, and now you're mad that she's getting her ass kicked by Teflon Don, one of the best presidents in history? Foolish and stupid. Man, I thought this dude, Obama, was smarter than that, but I was dead freaking wrong. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
And listening to him come out and lecture, as he says, the brothers, his brothers, about their lack of support for Kamala Harris, it was sad.
To single out black men is wrong. And
That's not acceptable.